Welcome, everyone. Shana Tova. We're going to begin our service with an instrumental meditation led by Margot Schlanger on the viola, which is inspired by Kabbalat Shabbat music, because we're entering Shabbat, and also, of course, the music for Yom Kippur and for Teshuvah, the music that speaks to our yearnings to return to our essential goodness. The instrumental meditation will culminate in the sacred melody of Kol Nidre that has brought Jews to the synagogue on this holy day for generations upon generation. Some of our members have lost loved ones this year. For others, more time has passed since losing a loved one. No matter when we have experienced such losses, lighting a Yortzeit candle bends time and brings the memory of our departed loved ones closer to us. So we invite Carla Grayson to light the memorial candle. There is no special bracha. We just light and we remember. So you may want to whisper the name of the one or ones you are remembering and reflect on a treasured memory, something you learned from them, or just honor the memory. Zichronam livracha. May their memory be for blessing. We now call up Robin Wagner to light the candles for Yom Kippur. Please turn to page 688 for the blessing. And as we are also entering Shabbat, we say at the end, Shel Shabbat v'Yom HaKippurim. Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat v'Yom HaKippurim. So Kol Nidre begins just before sundown, while it's still light outside, when people are still going about the business of the day, or we're recalling that people are still going about the business of the day, because this part of the service imagines that we are attending a court that is still in session, an earthly court of humanity, a Beit Din with 3 judges. The prayer leader is one, I'm one, and the 2 people who will be holding the Torah scroll are the other 2. And there's also an imagined heavenly court where God sits alone in judgment. The opening statement of the court begins with a declaration, by the authority of all who congregate above and all who congregate on earth, and with the permission of the omnipresent one, and by consent of this assembly, we accept into our midst whoever seeks to pray, whether righteous or not righteous. All pray as one community. We pray as avaryanim, as transgressors, as people who have missed the mark, and of course that casts a very wide net. We pray as a community knowing full well that we have messed up, however big or small, and that we are committed to doing better and evolving together as a community, together, trying to be better to ourselves, our loved ones, our friends and colleagues, trying to be better citizens of the world. And we do not just have our missteps in common. We have something much more profound in common. Our tradition tells us that we are made b'tselem Elohim, in the image of God. That means that we are also good. We know what it means to love, to empathize, to give, to share, create, express, and just be. We have that in common too. Even though we live in different bodies and have different personalities, proclivities, skills, and talents, we are good and we are flawed, and we're trying to do better. That is why we are here. We stand here to bear witness to one another. We stand here before God. We stand here on the shoulders of our ancestors, and with all the Jews in the world committed to trying to do better. Kol Nidre is recited 3 times so that everyone can hear, even latecomers. It's true. That's what they say. that all vows that we committed to since last Yom Kippur and did not complete be canceled and rendered null and void. In other words, we do not have to be burdened by our failed promises, by where we miss the mark, because we believe, as witnessed by this earthly court and the heavenly court, in the depths of our souls, that we are capable of doing better this time, this new year. So let us not waste energy and regret, and get on with the holy task of trying. B'chol levavecha, b'chol nafshecha, v'chol meodecha, with all our heart, all our soul, and all our might. So to begin this holy work, we don a talit in an evening service. We wrap ourselves in sacred cloth, symbolic of divine shelter, as we embark on our Yom Kippur journey, considered the holiest day of the Jewish year. Please turn to page 690 for the talit blessing, which we will recite together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef batzitzit. And now we begin this holy journey. We call up Julie Norris and Erica Ackerman from our board to open the Ark and hold the Torah. Please refer to item number 1 in your supplement, We Are Good, We Are Flawed, which will be immediately followed by Beshiva Shel Mala on page 692, which will be chanted 3 times. Then we will go directly to Kol Nidre on the following page, on page 694, which will also be chanted 3 times. For transliteration for Beshiva Shel Mala and Kol Nidre, refer to item 2 and 3 in your items 2 and 3 in your supplement. So please rise in spirit and in body as you are able for the opening of the Ark, as the heavenly and earthly court are now in session.
We are good.
Yeshiva shel mala uvishiva shel mata al dat hamakom ve'al dat hakahal anu matirin leipalel im harvayanim bishiva shel mala uvishiva shel mata al dat hamakom ve'al dat hakahal anu matirin leipalel im harvayanim bishiva shel mala uvishiva shel mata al dat hamakom ve'al dat hakahal anu matirin leipalel im ha'arvayanim. Kol Nidre ve'sarei u'shevuei v'acharanei ve'konamei ve'kinusei ve'chinuei tintarno udishtebono udeharimena udehasurno al-nafshatono mihom kippurim shavor ad yom kippurim zehaba aleinu letova kol hon icherot novehon kol hon yehon sheran shevikin shevitin betelin omer putalin lo shiririn elakayamin nidronenu la nidre Please turn to page 697, and we will read together. All the vows on our lips, the burdens in our hearts, the pent-up regrets about which we brooded and spoke through prayers without end on last Atonement Day, did not change our way of life, did not bring deliverance in the year that has gone. From the mountain peaks of fervor, we fell to common ways at the close of the fast. Will you hear our regret? Will you open our prison? Release us from the shackles of habit. Will you answer our prayers? Forgive our wrongs. Though we sin again and again in moments of weakness, we do not remember promises of Atonement Day. Look past forgetfulness. Take only from our hearts. Forgive us. Pardon us. And we continue with Venislach, which is on page 696. The Hebrew, the transliteration is item number 4 in your supplement. Venislach lechol adat b'nei Yisrael v'lager hagar b'tochem ki lechol ha'am bishgaga. Venislach lechol adat b'nei Yisrael v'lager hagar b'tochem ki lechol ha'am bishgaga. Slach na lavon ha'am hazeh kegodel chasecha v'chasher nasat la'am hazeh mimitzrayim v'yadena v'sham ne'amar. Vayomer Adonai, salachti kidvarecha. 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 So we recite the Shehecheyanu on the same page for the newness and the precious moment of this time. The last 2 lines of Hebrew, last 2 lines of transliteration.
Let's
may be seated. So, Yom Kippur falls on a Friday night as we enter Shabbat, so we're also going to recite the song for Shabbat, which the particular part of the song for Shabbat, which is on page 708. It's the last, no, it's not 708.
702.
702, thank you. I skipped ahead. It's on 702 where the asterisk is in the Hebrew, and of course the transliteration. And that part of the verse for Shabbat likens the righteous person to a date palm, a flowering date palm. And why is that? Because the date palm offers itself completely. Its branches can be used for roof thatching, its fronds to make a ritual object like a lulav. Its fruit, of course, can be eaten. Its fiber can be used to make rope. Its wood for building. So as we sing the last paragraph of this song on page 702, let us imagine offering ourselves and utilizing our resources with fullness and generosity. And then we will go directly into the Baruch Hu, which is on page 708. Tzadik atamar yifrach, ke'erez balvanon yizgeh, shetuli beveit Adonai, bechatzot rot Eloheinu yavrichu, od yevunun beseva, deshenim verananim yehiyu lehagi, yashar Adonai tzuri velo avlatavo. Turn to page 708, and please rise in spirit and in body as you are able for the Baruch Hu. Yai da 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 da, yai da 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 da, yai da yai da 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 da, yai da da yai da 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 da, yai da da yai da 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 da, yai da. Turn to page 710 for Ma'ariv Aravim, where we acknowledge the liminal space between light and darkness, of the light of day rolling into darkness of evening. This subtle movement of light, the mixing of light and darkness, is a metaphor of our continual searching for insight and understanding, of coming to a place of discernment within the flow of constant change. The transliteration is also on page 710 below the Hebrew. Uma'avir yom, ume'evi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzivot shemo, El chai וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריך הרבים. We continue with Ahavat Olam, which is on page 712, that we are loved by an unending love. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Ahavta, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shofeinu, u'koleinu nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, v'yorech yameinu, u'vahem negeh yomam v'layla, negeh yomam v'layla. V'avatcha lo tasur, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael, ohev amo Yisrael. We continue with the Shema on page 714. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meotecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha v'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. We continue silently with the biblical passages on pages 715 to 722. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, Adonai Elohechem Emet. Adonai is truth. In the words of Ursula K. Le Guin, truth is a matter of imagination. There is so much in that brief statement. We are here tonight to seek truth, to weave the past with the present, to try to make sense of our lives, to dream and imagine how things could be better. The journey is unique, mysterious, and shared by all of us. It is often a rocky road, but does it have to be? Is there a way to be soft on that journey of not knowing? Is there a way of ease and flow? Is there a way of holy imagination? And now we're going to call up Sally Goldberg to read I Am the Sea, and we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to have you read up here, okay? And I have it there.
Thank you. I Am the Sea by Rabbi Sheila Peltz Weinberg. I am the sea of reeds, the Red Sea, the sea of blood, algae, chariot wheels, dying fish, plastic, and mud. I am the sea that must be crossed, crossed again and again, whatever the season, whatever the reason. I am the sea, the serpent sea, the majestic, clear blue, flowing river that is a sea that is a river. I have 2 sides. I have 100 sides. I am the length of infinity, the width of God's breath, the finger of Shekhinah. I am the sea, I am the water. I flow, I clean, I submerge, I drown, I float, I choke, I kill, I give life. The waters burst and you were born. I am the sea of love, the river of hope, promise, fortune, freedom. I am the river. My surface reflects the moon and the stars. I hold the cloud and the fire. I receive rain and I am empty. I go empty and dry. I am the sea and I am dry land. They walk, they drown, and I'm filled again. I am the sea.
And we continue with Michamocha, where we celebrate the splitting of the Red Sea, or flowing with the sea, maybe in a more contemporary perspective. Michamocha 7:28, the top of the page, and transliteration below. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha nedar ba'kodesh, Nora tehilot osef eleh, Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, Zeli anu v'yamru, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo yad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. And we turn the page for Hashkivenu, the prayer for protection, that we're protected by a sukkah of peace in our comings and goings that moves with us wherever we go. The transliteration you will find on page 732. Hashkivenu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu, L'Shalom, L'Shalom, Hashkivenu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom, Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom, L'Shalom, Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom, Ve'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim, O L'Shalom, O L'Shalom, Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom. We continue with the Chatima, with the sealing bracha at the bottom of page 730, and then it's the last two lines of transliteration on 732. Blessed are you, compassionate one, who spreads your canopy of peace over all of your people Israel and over Jerusalem, over all the peoples. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Haporei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu Ve'al kol amo Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim. So as it is Shabbat, we also recite the Shamru about the mitzvah of keeping Shabbat, which is on page 734. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasod et HaShabbat ledorotam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasod et HaShabbat ledorotam, berit olam, be'ei uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasod et HaShabbat ledorotam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasod et HaShabbat ledorotam, berit olam, beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, uvayom hashavir shavat vayinafash, Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasod et HaShabbat ledorotam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasod et HaShabbat ledorotam, berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasod et HaShabbat ledorotam. We continue at the bottom of the page with the 2 lines for Yom Kippur. For on this day atonement shall be made for you to make you clean from all your wrongdoings. Before the fount of mercy you shall be clean. Ki vayom hazeh yechaper alechem letaher etchem mikol chatotechem lifnei Adonai titaru. And we will continue with the Amidah. It's a time for silent meditation. You may want to follow the traditional texts on pages 740 to 774, or personal prayers that emerge from your heart. Afterwards, we will come together for Oseh Shalom on page 772. So please rise in spirit and in body as you are able for the Amidah, beginning on page 740. Oseh Shalom on page 772. Last 3 lines. May we know what it is like to feel peace, and may that sense of knowing fuel our actions. It sometimes takes a lot of work, doesn't it? Especially these days. The Hasidic masters tell us that in the Shema, that we say we are to love God b'chol levavecha, that we are to love God with all our heart, that the final letter of heart is doubled. It has a doubled letter because we're supposed to love God with both sides of our hearts, with our Yetzer Hara and our Yetzer Tov, with our good side and our bad side, with our good inclination and evil inclination. But after this year, I read this a bit differently, that we're to love with our grief and with our hope. We tend to our grief, which has so many faces: sadness, anger, desperation, longing, among many other things. And while doing that, we can also tend to our dreams for something better, for peace, for redemption, for bridge building, for healing. Even if it seems impossible, we can still dream. We can dream. During the Yamim Noraim, the days of awe, we are called to do this work of yes and, of holding multifaceted experience. One side does not negate the other. It doesn't have to. The other thing we can count on is that things change. With billions of dreams and thoughts and plans of imaginings within the collective consciousness of humanity each and every day, second even, we can't predict how things will go. Sometimes they get worse, and sometimes they get better. But we can be on the side of compassion and healing. We can dream that dream and use our holy imagination to fuel that kind of action in the world. We can do that. We can be the drops in that sea of billions of dreams and imaginations. We can mix the waters with some love and some hope. We can do that right here, right now. This is why we're here. We're doing teshuvah. We're here to be better people and to be a better community. And sometimes we have to ask ourselves questions instead of knowing what to do. I think that for many of us, that's where we are right now. We have to ask ourselves questions because the answers are not clear. So I'd like us to hold that kind of yes and sense of peace and dreaming of a better future. We turn to page 785. And we want to read together. We will read together whether you want to or not. I shouldn't say we want to read together, should I? We're going to. Okay. We're going to read beginning with "The soul is yours," the second paragraph. The soul is yours, the body is your handiwork. Be sparing, please, to all that you have made. The soul is yours, the body yours. O fount of mercy, act in keeping with your name. We come in honor of your name, Eternal One. Please act in keeping with your name, and for the glory of your name, for you are called a God gracious and kind. And for the sake of your great name, Merciful One, may you forgive our wrongdoings, for it bounds. Our God, it is your way to be reluctant to grow angry, whether toward the wicked or the righteous. That is the reason you are praised. For your sake, God, not for our own. Please act. Behold us standing here in need and desolation. May you favor patience toward a wind-blown leaf. Be reconciled to us who are but dust and ash. Cast off our wrongs. Show grace to your creation. Appear among us, for is none to plead our cause. Deal justly now and on our behalf. And then we will continue with Lema'ancha, which uses some of the Hebrew liturgy in a different order that is presented in our Machzor. So you can look at item 6 in your supplement for Lema'ancha, which connects to this prayer. Aseh velo lanu, Re amidoteinu, Dalim berekim, Lemancha Eloheinu, Aseh velo lanu, Re amidoteinu, Dalim berekim, Hanesham alach ve'haguf balach chusa And we continue with prayers for healing. Our pure souls maybe have softened a little bit, and we have more healing power. And we're going to do a different prayer than the Misha Beirach. We're going to do Elna, Ana Elna Rafan Allah, which is number 7 in your supplement. And before we start, and also Peter Cohn is going to play the flute. But before we start, we're just going to go around the room, and if people want to share the name of someone you're praying for, now is the time to do it. So I'll just look in your direction, and you can call out the names. Be here. It's here. This direction. This direction.
Huda Karaman, Alec Dubrow, Kim Fellner,
Heidi Ibrahim, Marcy King, Warren Coker.
I'm going to add the name of Jeffrey Top. Please. We continue on page 812, the first 2 lines of Hebrew and the transliteration below. Please Rise in spirit and in body as you are able. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed Emet, Notzer Chesed Ha'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Afesha, V'Chata V'Nageh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Afesha, V'Chata V'Nageh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Afesha, V'Chata V'Nageh. V'salachta lavoneinu u'chatateinu, u'nchaltanu. And we read together the first 5 lines of page 813. Hear our voice, Eternal One, our God, and accept our prayer with mercy and goodwill. Turn us, Ancient One, toward you, that we might be enabled to return. Renew our days like days of old. And we continue with the Hebrew. Shema Koreinu Adonai Eloheinu Chus v'rachem Aleinu Aleinu V'kabel b'rachamim Berachamim uvratzon et tefilateinu hashivenu hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva chadei So we read together page 817, English. To prepare for vidui, for confession. We are strong-willed and stubborn, but you are merciful and gracious. We are stiff-necked, but you are slow to anger. We are full of error, but you are full of mercy. Our days are like a passing shadow, but you are one whose years shall never end. Our God, our ancient God, may our prayer come before you. Hide not from our supplication, for we are not so insolent and stubborn as to say here in your presence, Holy One, God of our fathers and our mothers, we are righteous, and we have not sinned, for we indeed have sinned. Please rise in body and spirit as you are able, as we prepare for Ashamnu on page 820. Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu tzadikim anachnu, we are righteous ve'lo chatanu, and we have not misstepped of all, but in fact we have misstepped. Anachnu chatanu. Yadai da dai 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 yadai Ashamnu Bagadnu Gazalnu Dibarnu Dofi Yadai da Tafalnu Shakir Yadai Dadai Dadai Yatsnura Kizavnu Latsnu Maradnu Niatsnu Saranu, Avinu, Ashanu, Saranu, Kishinu, Oref, Yadai, 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 Rashanu, Shichadnu, Tiavnu, Ta'inu, Titanu. Be seated. So I just want you to have a moment to sit before you stand up again. I know it's a lot of standing and sitting and standing and sitting. And so on Shabbat, we generally don't say as many petitionary prayers, or some don't at all. But because many of us really come to the synagogue for the high holidays, and that's it, we are including them because that's what we've heard in our hearts and what we've prayed with many of our families. And so it's a call to take stock of our lives. So we are bending halacha or bending custom, so that we have the opportunity to look in the mirror, because that's really why we're here. So now I'm going to ask you to rise again, as you are able, for Al Chet, which is on page 827. And so what we're going to do is we're going to chant just the first 2 lines in Hebrew, and then we're going to chant the English. And because I think it applies, it certainly applies to me. So we'll chant the English. I think it's important to understand these things. And then the last 2 lines we'll just read, and then turn the page a few times until the end. Okay? So I hope that's clear.
We'll follow you.
Yeah, okay, follow me. Uh-oh, you're in trouble. All right, here you go. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha be'imutz halev, v'al chet shechatanu lefanecha bivli dat. For the wrong that we have done before you in the closing of the heart, and for the wrong that we have done before you without knowing what we do. For the wrong that we have done before you, whether open or concealed, and for the wrong that we have done before you, knowingly and by deceit. For the wrong that we have done before you, through the prompting of the heart, and for the wrong that we have done before you, through the influence of others. For the wrong that we have done before you, whether by intention or mistake, and for the wrong that we have done before you, by the hand of violence. For the wrong that we have done before you, through our foolishness of speech, and for the wrong that we have done before you, through an evil inclination. And for them all, God of forgiveness, please forgive us, pardon us, help us atone. For the wrong that we have done before you in the palming of a bribe, and for the wrong that we have done before you by expressions of contempt. For the wrong that we have done before you through misuse of food and drink, and for the wrong that we have done before you by our avarice and greed. For the wrong that we have done before you through offensive gaze, and for the wrong that we have done before you through a condescending glance. And for them all, God of forgiveness, please forgive us, pardon us, help us atone. For the wrong that we have done before you by our quickness to oppose, and for the wrong that we have done before you by deception of a friend. For the wrong that we have done before you by unwillingness to change, and for the wrong that we have done before you by our running to embrace an evil act. For the wrong that we have done before you by our groundless hatred, and for the wrong that we have done before you in the giving of a false pledge. And for them all, God of forgiveness, please forgive us, pardon us, help us atone. Ve'al kulam Eloha selichot selach lanu mechal lanu kaper lanu ve'al kulam Eloha selichot selach lanu mechal lanu kaper lanu. And you may be seated. So we're going to continue with the concluding prayers with Aleinu on page 445. No, on 12, it should be on 1202. I have two numbers, and one of them sounds right and the other one doesn't. And 1202 is right. Okay. So before you start, I just want to say that Aleinu is upon us to do good. We do Aleinu at the end of a service because it helps us to prepare to act better. So we start with a certain mentality. We're coming to shul, we're coming to the synagogue, we want to pray, we want to be with community, we want to do teshuvah, but after all of the praying, it's supposed to seep into ourselves a little bit. We embody that commitment a little bit more, and so we basically leave with Aleinu, and we say, it's upon us to turn to our heart, because that's where we find God, and that's going to fuel our actions. So, Ein Od, there is no other than that internal, that deep goodness within, that God sense, that good sense that we have within. Please rise as you are able for Aleinu. Ein Od, Ein Od, Ein Od, Ein Od. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שנתן לנו תורת אמת, בחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והי אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. אין עוד, אין עוד, אין עוד, אין עוד. Maybe see. We come to the Mourner's Kaddish, which is on page 1216. And if you're saying Kaddish and you want to share the name, I'll look in your direction and you can share.
Jack Stansler, Ted Harrison.
Yigadal v'yikadash Shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yama tivrach cheruteh v'yamlich malchuteh v'chayeichon u'yomeichon v'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman karev yimru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah v'varach le'olam omein hayeh. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei Kudsha v'yichud le'ela mikol kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'yalma v'yimru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom v'migma, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru. Amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. So we will end with a piyuta liturgical poem, Ya'aleh Tachanunenu, a liturgical poem written as a reverse acrostic with the second word in each phrase moving down the order of the Hebrew alphabet. Dating back to the medieval period, this anonymous text consists of 8 stanzas describing the progression of the worshiper that they make from Kol Nidre to Ne'ilah, the beginning of Yom Kippur to the end of Yom Kippur, Me'erev ad Arev, from evening to evening, and Miboker ad Arev, from morning to evening. The hope is to send out a plea that our prayers ascend, Ya'aleh, to God in the evening, arrive, Yavo in the morning, and are answered, V'yera'eh, by the end of Yom Kippur, at Ne'ilah, after Ne'ilah. The hope is that by the time Ne'ilah is upon us, that our spirits are higher and purer than the night before, that through our prayers and commitment, we are more aligned with our spiritual center, with our goodness, spiritually above our humble Kol Nidre beginnings. So please turn to page 782 for the Hebrew. For the transliteration, refer to number 10 in your supplement. And Peter Cohn will lead us. He will help us with the melody, with his arrangement of Joey Weissenberg's setting for this liturgical poem. May our prayers rise.